isn't it over?
Hello and welcome back to the second episode of the Six Sixers podcast. Well, kind of our second. We had a few technical difficulties last week uploading the video, and it sort of got to 98% and then crashed. So
yeah, we wouldn't have been able to get it uploaded until like day 3 or 4 of the test, so we just thought
we'll leave it.
Let's scrap it for this week.
And make this one bigger and better.
Well, shorter.
To
make sure it uploads.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Sky Wi-Fi.
Yeah, perhaps. So yeah, and probably not the worst thing in the world. Last week's didn't upload when we got pretty much everything wrong.
I got pretty much everything right.
Maybe.
I said drop Denley, bring in Curran, bring in Broad, make sure Sibley plays because he'll get 100. I said Stokes is the best all-rounder in the world.
I'm just going to insert the clips here away, so it's exactly the opposite though.
I mean, it's not unreasonable to say that he's going to be the next Ashes. He'd be 35. 3, it's tough. Personally, I'd give Denley one more. I said it.
Okay.
There's no proof I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I say that? Too, I did say bringing Curran and Broad.
Well, yeah.
But I think everyone pretty much did at that point.
Yeah. We didn't initially think so much about Wokes.
Yeah. We talked a lot about Archer, I think, as well, and not knowing that he'd been excluded from the test.
Yeah, exactly. And Jimmy a little bit. Okay.
And I did question Crawley slightly, you know, how much is he going to do?
Yeah, we did actually say that. And I think it did show. Jenny's got to come back in. He's a pro. He's going to score hundreds and hundreds of runs for us.
Well, the one thing that people sort of liked Denley for was that it gives a chance for the middle order to come in at a good time. But, you know, Stokes came in and scored 176 without Denley. So,
yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's not needed.
No,
we'll have to see. At least Crawley will play the next test.
Would have thought.
Not surprised.
I would have thought he'd play the rest of the summer pretty much, unless there's an injury, or he completely loses form and just gets golden duck after golden duck.
But generally, when the batters perform, we perform. We've got two bowling attacks which are basically as good as each other.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've got
come in for anyone and perform. So
our top six or seven quick bowlers are all as good as each other, all really good bowlers.
Yeah.
You got Broad, Jimmy, over 1,000 test wickets between them. Curran, possibly going to be the fastest Englishman to 50 test wickets, touch woods. He's smashing it. Wokes just
better
lost
average in England than Broad and Anderson.
Yeah, exactly.
He took 3 for 42 and 2 for 34. I mean, perfect.
Not bad.
Stats each one, you know.
Yeah, and then of course Archer and Woods who just have Wood has complete wheels, and then Joff can bowl really quick and can nip it around a bit.
Not to mention Stokes.
Stokes,
just bowl you 11 overs on the bounce.
It's not bad,
you get a breakthrough.
And still chase the ball up the hill as fast as you can, almost save a boundary.
I mean, we probably don't need to go into much depth with him because everyone knows how good he is.
He is phenomenal, yeah.
You know, 78 not out in the second innings after making 176, was it? 176?
Yeah.
Complete opposite innings.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And it shows what he can do.
The switch, I mean, he's incredible. I mean, arguably, he is the best cricketer in the world.
Yeah.
For me, it's either him or Steve Smith.
I think he is the one that every team, no matter who they've got at the moment, he would get into every team in the world right now, and every team would get a lot better with him. Well, yeah, I guess.
But the thing is, there's no all-rounder better than him, close to being as good as him. I mean, Holder, he's very good, but he's a bowling all-rounder.
Yeah.
He's a batting all-rounder. And arguably you'd have them in the same team because Holder could get in as a batter.
Yeah, number 8
could get in as a batter.
Yeah.
But someone like Smith, there's Root, there's Williamson, there's Kohli.
They're all phenomenal.
Arguably.
Marnus.
I mean, obviously Smith is a lot better than, in my opinion, better than Kohli, better than Root, better than Williamson.
Yes. But
by less than Stokes is better than the other all-rounders. I mean, Mitchell Marsh is like the third best all-rounder in the world at the moment. Seam bowling all-round.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sort of shows it's such a hard skill, and he's good enough to be a batter or a bowler in most teams.
Yeah, I think you have gone up key all-rounder of the Aussie team, Matthew Wade, though. I mean, there's 72 mile an hour bounces he bowls.
Fast bowler.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't get into any team as a batter or bowler.
I'm struggling, yeah.
That's a different story.
Yeah, should we start with the openers then? Sibley and Burns?
Yeah. Well, Sibley batted very, very well. I think it's a good problem to have to not be able to accelerate the scoring after you get to 100.
Yeah.
I think you take that any day of the week over being, nicking off on 4. That's his problem.
Yeah.
So I think, he's safe for the summer pretty much. He's shown he's good enough. They're-
Two fabulous hunters,
Yeah.
and they've both been very similar. And even when he's getting to 50 and then getting out, flicking off down the leg side as he often does,
Yeah.
he's still, even when he's only getting to 50, only getting to 40, he's still looking
Laying
very
the platform.
stable. And yeah, he's laying
He's
good
doing what Denny is
foundations.
doing, just kicking on.
Mm.
So I mean, you can't ask for much more other than maybe score 45 instead of 35, but
Even
it doesn't really matter.
though,
to be
when
honest.
you've got the players like Butler, like Stokes, like Pope, like Curran coming in down the order who can go in and blast
Yeah.
all rounds around the fields, you don't need someone at the top of the order to go and score at 50 strike rate, 60 strike rate. We just need openers to score runs, really. We've had the problem since
Yeah.
Cook and Strauss. It was, first of all, it was finding a partner for Cook. Went through 15 openers or something in that time.
Yeah.
Robinson, Lythe, Hales, Hamid,
Roy.
Jennings, Roy. Yeah, well, yeah, and then once Cook retired, then we had the problem of replacing Cook as well. So then we went through Burns, Jennings came back, Roy, Denley for a little bit, yeah.
So I mean, I think these two they complement each other.
Yeah,
Burns 15, but he looked good for that 15 as well.
yeah.
He always looks good now.
Yeah.
Even at the start of the Ashes, he looked a bit shaky to edge half of his balls pretty much, but now he looks so composed, but he's just not kicking on. So hope it doesn't turn into that Denley situation where he keeps getting starts and can't kick on. But I mean, he's proven with 200s, he's good enough. Everyone pretty much believes he's a Test match cricketer.
I
He
think so.
looks good enough. He plays the ball late. His shot selection's mostly good, unless Ruston Chase is bowling.
Well, yes. The fact, I think there's one stat. Every time Ruston Chase has bowled to Rory Burns, he's gotten Burns out.
Yeah.
Which is, it does seem that Burns keeps doing this. He keeps getting in, looking really good, scoring some nice runs off the back foot, flick off the legs as he often does.
Yeah.
But then it'll just be a part time, or it'll be a ranked long hop or something down the leg side, and he'll just flick something through to the keeper, play a bad cut to backward point, whatever it is. It just doesn't quite push on when we need him to.
Yeah, but I mean, he's only batted 3 times this summer, and he's got starts.
He's doing
Two,
alright. Yeah.
arguably 3 times with this 15. So I think you can't judge him this quickly, considering he scored 100 in the winter. He scored 80 in South Africa, and then he got injured. So
Yeah. Well,
he'll have this summer to prove what he can do,
Mm.
and I think he'll be alright doing that. He'll get a century in the next 3 tests.
he should be
4
fine,
tests.
hopefully, yeah, with the rest of the summer. I mean, he's still averaging in this series more than Root, more than Denley, more than Crawley, more than Butler.
Yeah,
So-
no, he's not. It's not as if his position's
No.
a threat at all, considering Bracey's the next opening option.
Yeah.
Jennings.
Maybe.
None of them are really safe.
They're
It's
safe.
a position in county cricket, so Burns is there for a good proportion of the summer and probably
Yeah.
winter at least. Crawley,
It's a bit unlucky.
Golden Duck, just had a bit of a brain fade.
Yeah.
Has a leg slip.
And I think it's straight back from lunch, and always first ball's always going to be a
He's
bit
young.
tough
That,
sometimes.
I mean,
yeah.
you can't really give an excuse for that shot because it is terrible. But you know, what can you do?
No.
Move on.
He's a young guy, he's
He
still
really
coming
cares
to
at
it.
this point. We won the test. He can show what he can do next test
Yeah.
match.
And second innings, yeah, had a good 11, which at the time he was playing for the team, which is not good to see that people
Yeah.
weren't going out there and batting for their average and
exactly.
saying nope, just hitting the ball back.
Yeah,
ball
Root
every time.
again. Looked good for his 23
Yeah.
in the first innings.
And
Looked
20.
good for his 22 in the second
Yeah.
innings. Ran himself out, selflessly, but his first innings shot really wasn't very good. And I think it's getting to the point now. He is such a good batsman. I think he should be averaging 55, 60 a test.
He should.
He's that good.
And it's,
But it's come to the point where Stokes is now our best batsman.
I
That's
think
just
so,
a fact.
yeah.
Now. Stokes is our best batsman.
well, yeah, since Stokes has come back from his ban in
Yeah.
Bristol, he's looked unbelievable, and especially in the past year since that Headingley Ashes, he's averaged in the 80s or something. And he's averaged well over 40 since coming back from Bristol, and he's looked fantastic pretty much every time, scoring 400s, the same as Root in far fewer innings, I
Yeah.
think.
yeah.
And not quite as many 50s, and I think that is where Root does need to go. He needs to push on. Whereas I think Stokes sort of gets in, gets a 30 or 40, and then gets out. Root gets in, gets a 50 or a 60, and gets out.
Whereas Stokes will either get 40 or
150, yeah, and he'll
And Root
really
will get-
push on.
0 or 50,
Mm.
so it's quite a big difference. But yeah, I think he'll come good as well. He's got a lot of it's his first game back. We can't forget.
No, not at all.
He'll need a bit of time to get in. He's got
Precious
4 more home tests
Yeah.
to show how good he is. And I think he captained well. Not much
Yeah.
he did. Declared at the right time. Some people said he declared too late, but
It was
it didn't
fine.
matter in the end.
There was still another
he
10
could have
overs
allowed
left.
Stokes to get another century, just saying.
Mm.
And we would have still won, but you can't risk it
No.
at that point. But yeah, no, I think his captaincy is only getting better while his batting is sort of flatline.
Yeah, it's a tough one really, because I think there was quite a long period when it was, is captaincy affecting him? Is it not? And it's stopped now, which is good to see. But his batting has been slowly declining, and it's a tough one really. But
Yeah.
I think he's going to stay in, and he's unlikely to be dropped as captain until at least the next Ashes, and then it could be up and down if we do
Unless we
get
don't
smashed.
lose a test this winter or something.
Mm.
Or unless
So
we
don't
lose all
win.
our
Yeah,
tests this
don't
winter.
win one.
But then there'll be questions. But I mean, we just got.
Yeah, and India's a
Don't
hard
do
place
what
to
he
go and
does.
win.
Yeah.
Very rarely do teams go there. They've lost one game in the past 5 years or something at home, which is just seems ridiculous, really. Just
Right.
have the right team for it.
We've talked about Stokes already. Pope
Just didn't really do
missed a
much.
straight one off chase.
Yeah,
Not really sure. And then he batted well in the second innings.
Yeah.
Showed probably his 1-day credentials as well.
yeah, I think so.
Probably you don't. I'm not sure you'd want him and Root though, considering the way we play. Maybe
Mm.
if, when the next captain comes in, he might go down a different route.
Yeah.
I don't know why you'd change your winning formula.
No.
So I think he's almost would be a backup at 3 to Root if he did come in.
Yeah, he's slightly more expansive, I'd say, than Root, and I think he can find the boundary slightly easier with his. He has more flicks and sweeps and and sort of scoops and everything than Root perhaps
He's not
does.
got that power hitting that would mean he could come in for more than
No,
Barber or
exactly.
Stokes.
So it's a slightly odd one. Maybe I don't know. I wouldn't say. Well, yeah, he's not going to come in as a keeper. 'Cause
Yeah.
You've got Butler, you've got Bairstow and stuff. So it would be at number
I mean,
3.
he's still young.
He'll
play. over
He's
the
got
rest of
another
the point,
decade, 15 years, whatever it is, to come in
Yeah, and then took a brilliant catch
to win
the
it.
game.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Almost as good as Jennings at short leg.
Yeah.
He can also bat, so
That's
bit of a
always
bonus.
bonus, yeah.
No, again, hasn't had the best of series so far, but he'll have time, he'll be given time. He averages, 58, 59
Yeah.
in first class cricket. We know what he can do, so he'll just have to keep
Keep going when he can.
keep
Yeah.
working. He looked a lot better and more confident in a way in that second innings when there was pressure, but there was less pressure to make sure you get yourself in.
No,
And
it was more have some
just
fun
make
and
sure you
just
get
get
off
Stokes.
strike.
Yeah.
Make sure
Okay.
Stokes can hit his boundaries. So he's not had the best game, but he'll come good.
Yeah. Butler.
But
He did well.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? 40 off 79 in the first innings.
It
It's
was.
enough to keep his place.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if he got a pair, he'd probably keep his place anyway. Because Smith loves him. But he looked good for that 40. He hit quite a lot of shots, but then he got out in a way that you never see him really get out in 1-day cricket. And that's the sort of innings he was eventually trying to start playing to accelerate our score to get close to 500 before he declared. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that sort of show he's lacking in confidence? Does that sort of show
Maybe.
he doesn't
Might
know how he
know
needs
that.
to play still in Test cricket?
Which seems to be the thing he's been arguing since he sort of started failing after that India series. It's hard. I'm still not sure how to play.
Yeah.
And I think he was possibly a little bit lucky early on when Pakistan and when India in those early series, it was all situational. He came in and had to bat with the tail the whole time because we were collapsing and we were 60 for a 6, whatever it was, and we had Butler and Best having to come in and score 80s, score 50s.
Yeah.
And then in India, he scored a good 100 with Stokes in that one loss in that series. But yet again,
When
the
there was no
situational
pressure,
Yeah.
we lost the game at that point.
It's all situational, and I think he is fantastic in that way. That he plays situations unbelievably well.
Yeah.
But Test cricket isn't about situations; it's about batting time and about scoring runs over long periods, as Sibley and Stokes have done.
Yeah, exactly. Well, at the end of the day, he kept better this Test, I think.
Yeah, he did put one down. Was it down the leg? Well, he didn't drop it. It
He
didn't
just
quite
didn't
get
get
there.
to a couple down the leg side, which it's hard. It's so hard to know if Folkes would, but
He
if
would,
any
'cause
keeper
it's
would get
Folkes.
that, it would be Folkes.
Yeah.
But I think there's not much you can complain about with this keeper. He took a good
No.
catch to
Yeah.
get with Blackwood.
Yeah.
If he dropped it, he would have been absolutely
Oh,
furious
yeah.
for it. But it was good. It was a good
It's
grab
a solid one,
under
yeah.
pressure. So yeah, no, he'll have another test at least because he's got 40 and apparently that's
Yeah.
good enough.
Yeah.
When it's not good enough for Dentley, but
It's
you know,
tough.
we move on with Butler.
Yeah.
Wokes and Curran in the middle order.
So Wokes didn't really do much with the bat.
No, got face one ball in the test. But,
Yeah.
bowled brilliantly.
Great bowling,
We
yeah.
talked about it a bit before, but
He's shown why he needs to
his
come back in
position,
there.
Atherton on Sky, for his away swinger, it's literally just angled to first slip.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Perfectly just moving, rotating like that, and it's just, the control is just incredible. Like, there's no way he won't get wickets when the ball's seaming and
No,
swinging.
but the argument is when it's not seaming swinging.
Exactly, and that's what he's got to work
Yeah.
on, as does Curran, although he showed off-cutting to get rid of Hope. He's got things in his locker that can, I mean, at one point, he was England's highest wicket taker in New Zealand,
Yeah.
where, you know, the ball did absolutely nothing for 2 tests, so, I mean, obviously he averages 48 overseas, but, you know, he's 22 again, Wokes is 30. Curran has got 5-6 years to really progress.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it's about targeting the next away Ashes for him, but possibly the one after that.
Yeah, well, he'll still be in sort of 10 years almost, isn't he? He's still going to be in his
Yeah.
prime, the next Ashes down the line away.
Yeah, so.
So the one, well, not even the coming
But
one.
I mean, he's just
after.
such a good player to be able to use, effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, and he
Makes
did
sense.
tweet about him that was Atherton said, oh no, Cook, just before he got the wicket of
Oh, yeah.
Brooks. Cook said, oh, he always makes things happen. He's a great cricketer in that way.
2 balls later,
He gets it, yeah.
set man out.
So, and he does always do that. He gets the Williamsons out, he gets the Kohlis out,
Yeah, exactly. So he's just
gets
such a good player.
gets
to
the
have.
Ishant Sharmas out.
He's just unlucky to play in a time for England where there's so many good players.
Yeah,
really.
particularly in our bowling attack.
Yeah.
And I do think he will be more likely to come in for a Stokes once Stokes sort of perhaps is starting to finish, or once Stokes is struggling to get as many overs in as he can if he's a bit older.
Yeah, well,
And
for
maybe
me,
Stokes is
I'd
more
happily
batsman.
give Curran the opportunity, and I believe in him enough to probably bat 6.
Yeah,
It's possibly 7 for Butler, but I'm not sure I would want to bat Wokes there.
no,
Because, I don't know, he just seems more vulnerable than Curran.
yeah,
And I think most bowlers would rather bowl at Wokes than Curran.
yeah. He would,
Basically.
Wokes is a more traditional batsman. He might hit you through the covers, he might flick a legs, whereas Curran could just charge down the pitch and hit you back over your head third ball. Or hit a short one over extra cover or something for 6, as he often does.
Yeah, but I don't know if giving him that responsibility to, you know, effectively coming in for Stokes if Stokes is in the next test. How is he going to cope with that?
I think
He's just seen Stokes hit 176. Does that mean he might sort of think, oh, I need to rein in here, I need to make sure I set a platform,
Maybe, yeah.
and then eventually he goes at a short one and gets out for you know, 16 off 42.
Yeah, which is it's going to be a tough one, and he needs to work out how he's going to bat long and bat to get the hundreds that he hasn't got yet.
Because that's
all
his one
counting.
weakness to the game. If he wants to be a bowling/batting all rounder, just so he can kick on. I mean, he's not got a first class 100.
No, it's all about consistency for him really, because batting and bowling, because he does bowl and bat. It's 1 or 2 shots, 1 or 2 balls. It's just unbelievable, and he takes an amazing wicket, hits some amazing shots, but just can he do that consistently and get the fifers, get the hundreds that he needs to really push on as an international cricketer?
Yeah, exactly. Bess batted well in the first innings.
Yeah, again another good 31 not out.
But that's not why he's in the team, is it really? Especially considering he's batting at 10.
Yeah,
I mean, the tell he had, it was an opportunity to play Leach.
maybe, yeah.
10 right-handers in that team you can own.
And possibly 11 in the next one.
You'd think Leach would have done better than Best did. Best taking
1 in the first, 2 in the
1
second.
for 67 and 2 for 59, and you know
It's
those
fine,
wickets.
but-
1 was a beauty.
Yeah,
And
Holder, that
through
was-
the gate,
yeah.
and the other was just Gabriel. I know it was a brilliant
Brilliant
catch,
catch.
but, you
And
know,
it worked, the plan
fair
worked
enough,
well.
he's cleaned the tail up, fair
Yeah.
enough. But you know, if it got to a point where you know we needed 2 wickets in the final 5 overs,
You wouldn't go to the
And
best, really.
or we had the new ball, but Best hasn't done his job effectively.
No.
I know it's probably a day 4 wicket, but it was spinning it. I mean, Chase spun it more than him.
He chased it for 5 in the first innings.
Which is just odd to think, you know, Chase averages 42 in Test cricket with the ball. He bowls
But about 12 against
part-time.
us.
You know, it's like saying Root spins it more than Best, and
He possibly does. Root does.
possibly does.
Give it some
You know,
rest.
do you really want a spinner that doesn't spin it?
Yeah.
Because no one really. There's no point playing him when you could have a seamer in a way. And I know the media hates that, and I sort of tweeted about it yesterday. You know, the media goes mental if there's no spinner in the side. But what I was thinking, well, we'll do this when we say our next test.
Next test innings,
prediction on the team, but
he did fine yet again, but nothing special.
Really enough to drop him.
No.
But they might rotate him in a way.
Maybe.
They still don't know who the best spinner is, and that will sort of come in the India series. But you know, he's got passion. Similarly to Curran, he's got that fire.
He does.
You know, he wants to do well for England, not just himself. He wants to win games for England and help England do that. So
And
I like him. He's a good bowler, and he's still 22.
Oh yeah, exactly. He's only young.
He's probably. I mean, Leach at 22 was playing club cricket, so you don't know how far Best can become. Yeah, and then finally, number 11, Stuart Broad. Batted well for once, actually.
Yeah.
You know, usually sort of steps across, backs away and swings, but stood pretty firm. Sometimes when Gabriel was coming at him, he looked a bit less sure. But
that's probably the thing. It's when it's the real quicks, because they only really had Gabriel who's going to hit that 90 consistently, and he was a little bit injured, couldn't find his run up and.
But he's a good number 11, effectively. He's a good number 11.
Yeah.
Is Stuart Broad.
That's the thing.
And then he bowling, you know, he was 0 for 40 at one point. And people were sort of thinking, well, what is Stuart Broad started saying? I'm going to come out in the second test with fire in my belly. I'm going to perform for the team. Yeah. People are starting to think this could go really wrong for Broad, you know. But then if he finishes with 0 for 60 and England miss the follow on and stuff like that, and we lose the game. But you know, second new ball, 3 wickets in 14 balls, is it? Yeah, 3 wickets, 14 balls, 1 run. I mean, he bowled so well. Yeah. He was bowling fuller, he's swinging it, seaming it. That's why you have Broad on the side, isn't it? 3 wickets, both innings, 3 wickets, when England needed it. One was early on, one was after the second new ball. And effectively, you know, that first new ball spell won in the game, you know, they were 4 down. It looked like it was just the last day was going to be a boring draw. They bat until tea, and then we just have a knock at the end and finish a draw. Yeah. So he's one in, other than Stokes, he's probably the most important player to win that game, and I can't see him missing the next test now because of that. No, and I think the next test is going to be an interesting one. Should we go on to the selection for the next test then, or talk about West Indies a bit first? Let's just talk about Shai Hope and Campbell. Seaming rotation. Yeah, and Campbell maybe. Shai Hope and Campbell. So the options are bring in another seamer for Gabriel, or bring in Cornwall for Gabriel and keep the team the same. Or bring in Cornwall for a batsman and bring in a seamer. Yeah, I think Gabriel is going to be. He's going to be rotated. He just didn't look on the pace at all. He really, you could tell he was trying his hardest and getting range stuck at him, but he's struggling to run around, and he was hobbling around all over the pitch and couldn't really do enough with it, I don't think. So I think he's going to come out, and I think possibly Joseph. They were talking about it a little bit. He's injured. He might be injured. In which case, I'd have thought Rakeem will come in for one, and maybe Kemar Holder might come in for the other to keep the pace going. Otherwise, they would just have 3 80-mile-an-hour bowlers. I mean, which personally, I don't think you can bring in Cornwall for Gabriel or Joseph, because they're pretty sure it's going to rain for 3 of those days. Yeah. And Cornwall effectively is going to just be there to hold up an end. So unless maybe on day 5 it starts spinning, but Chase can do that anyway. But he's a cracking bowler, and we all want to see him play. We're sort of making excuses for who he can come in for. But for me, he has to come in for Hope or Campbell, effectively. Yeah, possibly. And then you move Chase up the order because he's shown he's a good bat. Yeah. He's probably been their best bat of the series, maybe. He's made a couple good 50s. Brathwaite's done all right. Good few knocks from Blackwood as well. To be fair, the batsman done all right. He's not kicked on, but I think you've got to move Chase up the order. maybe Brooks to 3 and drop Hope because he's not good enough.
And maybe Joshua Da Silva into Campbell.
Yeah, that's the other option.
They could do both, to be fair, because neither Campbell nor Hope have really kicked on and scored runs.
I don't think you cannot bring Cornwall in for a seamer because it's going to be a seamer's pitch again. I mean, this pitch, which we've had 4 days play on, was still a seamer's pitch on day 5.
Yeah.
You know, where the likes of Broad, who tall.
They were the ones taking the wickets, basically.
So a like for like for Gabriel was really needed. So I don't really know what holders the other holders like. He's exciting. I think they've got to play him really.
I think it was him and was it Rifer who took all the wickets in was it for Barbados or someone over their past season, because I think they're in the same team as is it either Roach or Gabriel or something, but they were both playing for West Indies. Yeah. So I think it was these two guys were playing pretty much the whole series and took all the wickets and looked really exciting.
Right. So they'll open with Brathwaite and personally I'd go to Silva.
I think he's come in, he scored runs.
But I really want to go because I want to see him back. They might stick with Campbell just because 2 tests isn't much.
No.
But Campbell, he looks a bit shaky.
He
dropped the crucial catch of the game, really.
Yeah, well, that would have made all the difference because Stokes after that did continue and actually speed up a little bit, probably from there.
So
that might have delayed our declaration by a few overs, which might have changed the game.
And slowed our runs. And they could have been fighting at the end. And when they know there's only 10 overs left and they're 7-8 down.
That's when
they can really go. When Joseph flew his back, something. Gabriel flew his back, something. Holder tried to hit best for a 6 and got out. They might have changed their mindset and got the draw.
Just blocked out.
Right. So Brathwaite, Campbell or Da Silva. Personally, Da Silva.
Yeah, I want to see him as well.
3
Brooks. I think we'll shift up.
4 Chase for me. 5 Blackwood. 6. That's where the gets weak, doesn't it?
Either Darrich, maybe Holder might jump him and bat in at 6.
Holder, 7 Dowrich, 8 Cornwall, 9 Joseph, 10 Roach,
11 Holder. Well, I don't know what Holder's Holders like.
I mean, Roach is a good bat, so I think you just bring Holder in at 11.
Yeah.
The tail is looking a lot weaker then, but it's not as if the tail's performed for them much anyway. It's not strong. You don't look at that side and think it's as strong, do you? But of course you've got to rotate Gabriel.
It is. I do think that either Campbell or Hope is likely gonna, at least one, probably possibly both will stay, and it's whether they want to give to Silva an opportunity in the one final test of the summer.
Anyway, I'm not picking the side.
No.
So, I'm happy I'm not doing that because there's a lot of big calls and similar options and different ways you can approach the game.
Definitely.
Whereas England, I think
it's almost the other way around for us. It's not who do we drop, it's who do we play. Particularly in the seam attack, we've got 6 seamers who have all stood up and said, I perform well. They've all had fantastic spells, all taken some good wickets. It's maybe Curran and Woods who are likely not going to be.
Well, the batting's going to stay the same.
Yeah, you would have thought. Unless Stokes
is injured. We can't predict who's going to. I think I'd bring in Curran.
I think, and you just shift everyone up one.
And then you go 7, Butler will be there. 8.
Well, I think Jimmy's going to play again at 11.
Personally, I'd go Jimmy, Broad, Archer.
Yeah, and it's what we said first test.
Leach.
Yeah.
That's a long tail.
It's very, very long,
I know you've got to rely on your batsmen, but that's 4 tail enders.
You've got 2 number 11s and 2 number 10s probably in there. Maybe number 9.
Maybe 9, but it's not a strong lineup. I mean, the other option is you don't play best. You don't play best or Leach and you play another seamer.
Well, stick a Wokes in, I guess, or a Curran.
Or you stick another batsman in. You play Lawrence, and then you can sort of afford to have
which I think we said about yesterday on our Twitter, which we recommend you go and follow at 66ers Podcast. At 66ers Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
I mean, this is just sort of hypothetical, but you could take the complete opposite route that West Indies will probably go, where they play 2 spinners. We play 2 batsmen that can
spin,
with Lawrence and Root, and Sibley obviously, but
it's a good player. Roy Burns.
Yeah, well, so Lawrence and Root, You'd have to see the pitch, but if Lawrence then bats 6,
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Stokes.
Well, it would be if otherwise you have him at
Or Lawrence at
Butler at
7,
8. Is that
really.
saying?
Actually, that's not really a good option, is it?
I think that's more likely if Stokes isn't going to play, they're more likely to possibly bring
Lawrence
in
and Curran for a spinner.
Curran
Wokes
or
for a
Wokes,
spinner.
yeah, someone for a spinner. Because then you do have Wokes in at 8, and then you have Jofra at 9, which does look a lot more stable than having Bess or Leach or Jofra at 8.
So our team with the spinner, with Stokes in it is Burns, Sibley, Crawley, Roots, Stokes, Pope, Butler, and then with a spinner, Archer, Leach, Broad, Anderson.
Yeah, I think so.
Without a spinner, Wokes/Curran.
In for Leach.
Archer, Broad, Anderson.
Yeah, I think so. Which is
without
strengthening
Stokes,
Lawrence and
Lawrence.
Stokes, I think.
Pope, Butler, and then a spinner.
Probably. No, I think if you're playing Lawrence, you'd need the extra seamer, really.
Extra seamer, yeah. So then Curran/Wokes, Archer, Broad, Anderson.
Yeah, because Lawrence and Root can bowl.
But I mean, I doubt they'll do that, to be honest. I think they'll play a spinner.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Because it does seem whenever we're not playing a spinner, that first test in South Africa, the first test in New Zealand, we just lose them.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So even if they don't take wickets necessarily, they seem to hold down and then seem to do all right.
Yeah. Well, anyways, it's been a cracking series so far. Two tests which could have gone either way at the start of the last day.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
I mean, even in T, the first test could have gone either way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and it's probably gone the opposite way almost to what people had thought it would.
Yeah.
When the last innings was starting, when we said the first test, we had them 27 for 3. And I was thinking, okay, this is going to be a bit easy. Hopefully, it lasts the rest of the day. And then obviously it does because they chase it down. And obviously in the last test, I think I was going to peter out to a draw, and then Stokes goes out and hits an unbelievable 50.
Yeah.
And takes the game away from them, and we managed to get some early wickets and managed to sneak in for the win, which is good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, the pitch is looking reasonably similar.
Yeah, but
the
weather
is
looking less good.
Personally, I would probably make it a bit greener to try and get a
I think you have to, yeah. But that will then favour the team bowling first, probably when it's green looking around and it's likely overcast.
You don't want to pitch where if you win the toss, you're going to win.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. And it should be a good last test.
Definitely.
And then we'll be on to Pakistan. So.
Yeah, a bit of a preview next week for that as well.
And the Ireland series, maybe? There's a game currently going on. Best was 76 not out when I last checked.
Yeah.
In the warm-up game. So that's good signs.
I think the White Ball series is going to be quite interesting because it's almost going to be a little bit of our sort of second team.
Yeah, and people really trying to push for place in the World Cup, which is now being postponed this next year. It gives them a bit more time.
Yeah, it's going to be a competitive series, I hope. Because Ireland, particularly White Ball, have quite a strong side. They have Paul Sterling. They have a few of their seamers. Docker was a spinner for them.
What's his name? Mark Adair is a good player.
Mark Adair, yeah. And they had a very good contest with us in that one-off we played. Was it summer before last in the ODI against them?
Yeah,
so
ODI.
could be a good series. Yeah.
Right.
So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And if you've got any questions, any funny stories, whatever it is, feel free to either message them to us on that or email them us to the6sixespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And then good luck, or go well to England this week. And hopefully it's another win and maybe then a 2-1 victory.
Thanks for 70 views-ish on our first video.
Yeah, just
I wasn't too fair. Obviously, it's not many, but
I think it's more than we thought.
Very little exposure to anything.
Yeah.
We genuinely thought, I thought we'd think at like 23, 24.
Yeah, something like that.
My friends, I told it.
And that's just refreshing.
So thanks guys for that. Hopefully we've actually got some people we don't know watching the videos.
Yeah. So please comment down, give us some more video ideas, what you want to see us do. We might try and have maybe a different setup to this and maybe have some more.
Yeah.
Maybe we often go to the Oval to watch it, so maybe have some videos there.
Yeah.
Just post some of the day's play, post the final test match.
Sort of vlogs. walking
Yeah.
down the road towards the Oval.
You're like, guys. Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah,
Let's see how it goes.
Thanks for watching, guys, and
see you next week.